we were using. But I've always quite fancied having just partly because I like gadgets and I'd quite like a proper...
You've seen our control service.
Yeah. Now, the Blackmagic one for the ATEM one is, I think it's I wrote it down actually,
it's £3,125
quid. I can't remember if that's got VAT on it. So it's a lot of money. So I'm often on the ATEM user forum and the Blackmagic forum, and a guy... I just noticed this project, this guy called Baz Leffler, who's in Australia, has rather cleverly got hold of a Grass Valley mixer.
Right, you talk, I'll get
it. He's actually worked out this is literally just a control panel, because as standard it has a 2 or 3U thing in the rack where it's that it controls. And so he's worked out the serial control that it works from, and he's put an Arduino in it and programmed it. And you can buy the Arduino in a kit with it's got a memory card that's got the program on it. And I'm about to embark on converting it. So, shall we have a look at the controller first of all, because it's rather gorgeous.
Right, so this is an old... I attempted to describe it as a relic, and you said that was unfair.
You said unkind and harsh, I said.
It is not a current model then.
No, it isn't.
So we say that this is not a current model.
No.
So this was a...
This is a GVG, this is a 100. The one he did was a 110, but the panels are all identical, bar and knob there. Right. So I found one on eBay, and I'm fingers crossed that it works, because it doesn't come with the other bit. Right. Most of them are actually, but it's still worth buying it, even if you have to buy the bit you throw away. Right. So I think it cost me about $180 because it was in America, and I think it's about 40 quid
to ship it.
Yeah. There are probably these sitting on shelves in video production houses, and it's just a case of trying to find them. So they do come up on eBay, and it basically the way he's got it to work is almost better than the original. We've got a video that he's made, a short video. Are we going to see that?
No,
we're not. But if you go to the ATEM user group and search for the GVG 110, you'll find Baz's video. There's in fact a whole sequence of them, and he's updated. Since I've bought it, I've had 3 updates and haven't even started the project yet.
So basically you're just going to be using the buttons and have another controller, so an Arduino microprocessor.
Yes. Yeah.
Or connected externally to it, or do you have to go inside and solder things?
Yes, you do. So here are the instructions. I'll put them there. So you can download these, and it's quite. Let's just find the right page. There's a few cuts on the board that need doing, because there's a change in the voltage. Was originally sorry.
There we go.
The voltage was originally 9 volts and 14 volts, because it had bulbs in it, and now it all runs off 9 volts. So there's a few cuts you have to make, and then these wires soldered in. But it's all very, I mean, I can do that sort of thing. There's about 5 little mods to do to it.
Right.
And then on the one he's stuck the Arduino inside in the bottom.
Right.
I'm thinking about putting it in a rack, because he's also come up with some amazing software that controls the Blackmagic SSD video machines.
Okay.
So you can use these buttons here
to trigger the...
to actually grab cue points.
These buttons. Okay.
So grab cue points and then relocates to those cue points. So we haven't got one at the moment, but I thought, well, if we have, then all that stuff.
So how does it actually connect? So you have to do these modifications, and how do you connect the Arduino to this? Is it
with an Ethernet cable?
It's Ethernet.
Yeah.
So it's Ethernet driven.
Yeah. So because that's, if you remember, that's what goes into the Blackmagic switches, isn't it?
Right.
So if you're controlling it with a laptop, it's an Ethernet connection, isn't it? That goes between the two. So yeah, he's effectively updating the operational aspects of it, sort of almost weekly. It's doing better and better things. Just extraordinary. So it should be be pretty good, and it should be pretty simple. And I'm thinking, I think I spent £225 on that Arduino, programmed Arduino, and I've also got the serial board that goes with it. And he's also on that serial board. You can then buy a remote set of relays off eBay for about 10 quid and get all your tallies going as well. So it's quite extraordinary use of the, you know, really makes the 1ME come alive. Yeah, looking forward to doing it. And I don't think I just need a couple of clear days at home without anybody there when I can just tackle it, you know. Yeah, it should be an interesting project to do. And as I say, I don't think it's too difficult. If you can wield a soldering iron, you know, yeah, here we go.
This is the video that they show of it.
So there it is. It's actually controlling. That's controlling a 2ME actually.
Yeah, it's a 2ME. But so this is on the atemuser.com forum, and they show it. Not great camera work, but I get the
no, I think it's shot on an iPhone by the look of it. Yeah, but it's the thread is called GVG 110 control panel up and running.
Yeah. So I think that's a great idea. I'm really pleased that they've taken something and recycling effectively.
But that means this is going to be 500 quid roughly, and give me a fully operating control panel for 500 quid.
And hopefully lots of lights on it.
Oh yeah, no, everything lights up. Everything.
If it doesn't do anything, as long as it has lights on it, it'll be.
It costs more in LEDs than anything else.
And I guess you could probably, he was doing it for the ATEM, but you could probably modify it to almost work on anything with the Arduino code. Has he published the source code, do you know?
Do you know, I actually don't know.
So this I was also going
to give, so this is the kit. Yeah, take that away.
Yeah, but switch to the overhead now.
So there we go. Have a look at that. So this is the box that he sent me, and there you go.
Designed and manufactured in Australia, another Australian company.
Yep, absolutely, it's all happening over there, isn't it? So I haven't actually opened this before, so let's just have a look. But this should be the. Oh yes, just cut that there without removing my fingers. I have actually emailed him and told him that we're doing this today. Ah, so
it's very early in the morning.
You're watching. So there we go.
I'll take this out the way and I'll zoom in some more so you can really.
That way.
That way. There we go.
Oh, this is confusing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that is the serial board there, that is mounted on top of the Arduino, and that is it. And yeah, his is actually mounted in the bottom of the. So I think he just filed out a small hole, so you could literally plug the Ethernet cable in there. And there's also
it's an Arduino underneath with a Ethernet motherboard, is it? I think. And then with an additional bit of hardware,
the serial card there.
The GPI interface on the back. Yeah.
So power goes in there. That's the Ethernet, and then there's USB. So that's for upgrades, software upgrades.
It's got a micro SD card in there.
Yes. So that's the program. So part of the money that you're spending, as the not inconsequential amount of work that he's put into.
Yeah. No. Absolutely understand. So there you are. So it's not Arduino Mega or something underneath.
Yes, it is.
And, yeah, so that's I mean, these Arduinos, when we've got 4 or 5 over on the workbench, just over there with the scopes and power supplies. They are great products, and we actually had the first iPeter that controlled the TriCaster was an Arduino system before they brought in the MIDI capability. So you know, the software that we're using here on the iPad was originally driven through through an Arduino. They are very versatile. It looks like it's just a USB lead and a CD of utilities.
Yes, I suspect that PDF is also on that CD. So I think I'll keep you updated as to how that goes. That should be an interesting project, shouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are, Vance. Has that inspired you not only to tidy up the cables, but to start recycling some things?
Well, I think it's great for repurposing things like that. The chat room is asking, does the T-bar work? And I think watching the video, it does. You can even calibrate the T-bar.
Yeah,
you can calibrate it so you can get it exactly to match the ATEM software with the T-bar. The lights light up, like Rob said. I mean, repurposing things, Rob said there's probably tons of those things laying around collecting dust in studios. So, I think it's much better than just, getting a... we use the X keys, and I think the X keys work great, Mark, for, just a 1, 2, 3 ABC type thing. But when you can get any kind of control surface that enables you to actually use a T-bar and to use program preview and the buttons for what they're used for and repurpose that to ATEM software, just like you said, the TriCaster, I think it's great stuff. So that's really encouraging, especially that it's all packaged in a kit with the Arduino Mega, and it's somewhat set up. So that's great.
Well, and bear in mind that what was it, 63,000 hits you had on part 2 of the ATEM?
Yeah.
So the interest is clearly out there.
So how much was so you said the 200 and something pounds?
I think it was 225. Sorry, it was 220 all in to get the panel, and about 225.
So under 500 pounds.
Yeah, and I've got to buy some LEDs, which I think, because there's a lot of them, could be about 40 to 60 pounds, and some ribbon cables. But I mean, under 600 pounds.
500 to 600 pounds. So that's 600, 650 euros. At the moment, probably $800 at the moment. But still, a great price.
And it does, I think, things that the Blackmagic one doesn't do.
I did get to use the Blackmagic one recently, and at something I was helping with, and actually I was impressed with it. It had lots of configurability that I wasn't.
I've seen the big one.
Aware of.
There's a studio I work at.
That's the £13,000 one.
Yeah, but it's a fabulous.
Oh yeah,
it really is a fabulous. It's a TV studio we use.
I mean, control services are expensive because it's the cost of the buttons. I mean, and it's low run, so they just. I mean, our control panel I think was 5,000.
Oh wow!
It is. They're not. They're not cheap. A managing director of one of the big switcher manufacturers told me that a lot of his life is spent worrying about the cost of the switches because they have thousands of them.
Right. Yeah.
So if
a small saving,
the switch goes up by $5 or even $1, it's suddenly X thousand.
But then the reliability of the whole thing hangs on those buttons as well, doesn't it? So it's quite a delicate balancing act. Of course, the knobs on most of these things, not on this because it's old, are encoders, aren't they? So a lot of them don't have actual pots in them, do they? They give out pulses somehow when you turn the knobs on a lot of these things. So probably more expensive to do, but of course then they don't wear out like a good old potentiometer does.
All right, so I think we've got through all but one of your gadgets. So the other